Over the last 2 decades, video games have become more than just games. They have evolved into cinematic experiences with Hollywood voice actors and amazing soundtracks. Shota Nakama, a musician from Boston, Massachusetts, turned his love of video game music into the Video Game Orchestra. With award-winning musicians, Shota and the VGO blew away audiences at PAX East and is in high demand to play all over the world. In this installment of 2old2play's pop culture series, Waterborn sat down with Shota at the House of Blues to find out how the VGO was born and what's in store for the future.
Hello, this is Dane Talk, aka Waterborn with 2old2play.com, and we're here in the prayer room of the Foundation Room at the House of Blues Boston, and we're speaking with Shota Nakama, creative and artistic director of the Video Game Orchestra. Shota, thank you for coming out to speak with us tonight.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Hey, it's our pleasure. So Shota's got a lot of exciting news to tell us about, but before we get into what you've been up to and what's coming up for you guys at the Video Game Orchestra, why don't you just give us a little quick background of it? What exactly is the Video Game Orchestra?
Video Game Orchestra is well, obviously it's an orchestra that plays music from video games with an orchestra, choir, and a rock band. So it's like, it's really, really epic and grand, and you can't find this kind of format anywhere else in the world.
Excellent. And I had the pleasure of seeing 2 of your shows over at the Berklee College of Music, and one of which I believe Gerard K. Marino was a guest conductor for one of the pieces there. For those of you who don't know, Gerard K. Marino is the composer for God of War, the God of War series. So you've had the opportunity to work with a lot of the major composers in the video game industry. Can you kind of give us a refresher of some of the composers that you have worked with so far?
Yeah, Gerard Marino for sure, and Jack Wall, who did Jade Empire, Mass Effect. We performed with Nobuo Uematsu, the composer of Final Fantasy. Everyone knows him.
Right.
And Masashi Hamauzu, the composer of Final Fantasy 13, like Saga Frontier. Who else? A lot of them. And yeah, we are going to be working with 4 other composers like Yoko Shimomura, Hitoshi Sakimoto, and Naruyuki Wadare, and those guys.
Excellent. This is very exciting. So once again, let's talk a little bit about where you guys have been so far, and then we'll get into the Boston Symphony Hall concert that you have coming up in about a week. So you guys, the Video Game Orchestra has recently partnered with the Penny Arcade Expo to play both Penny Arcade, PAX West, PAX Prime, and PAX East. Tell us a little bit about how that started and your experiences working with the folks at Penny Arcade.
Yeah, I think it started when they announced about the PAX Boston, PAX East, and a friend of mine told me about that, and I just emailed in, hey, we're here and we're interested in performing, so if you need like a performer, just let me know. And they quickly got back to me and said, look, let's do this. So that's how it happened, and we really like them so much, and we like PAX community as well as the enforcers and all their staff. They've been really, really awesome to us. And they said, like, why don't we just get you over to Seattle as well? And I'm like, really? Like, all right, that's great. So we've been having this really healthy, like really awesome relationship since 2010, I think.
Excellent. And as PAX, Penny Arcade Expo, continues to expand, obviously there's talk of them going international either next year or within the next couple of years. Right. Are you in discussions about maybe going outside the U.S. with your show with them?
I hope so.
Excellent.
Well, I don't know about like they've announced the PAX Australia and some stuff, and yeah, it would be awesome if we can go. Obviously, it's so far away, but yeah, let's cross our fingers. Excellent.
And you also mentioned that you guys will, the Video Game Orchestra, will be performing at MagFest coming up.
Yes, MagFest. I've been there many times, like I think 3 times already, and as just a fan and translator, and just walking around and hanging out with friends. But this year they wanted to invite us to do a show, so we'll be performing there with our smaller format, probably like 12-15 people, and we'll be rocking them out.
Excellent. That's very exciting. I'm a big fan of MagFest. I have not had the opportunity to go yet, but I do know several of the folks that support the arcade section at MagFest, Scott Schreiber and the guys who are out there.
Yeah, you have to go to that event. It's awesome.
I hear you.
It's really, I like that kind of event. It's smaller version of PAX. I think that's the most accurate description. It's like fan-based, like really fan-based community, and they value the community feel and source packs. So yeah, you feel like you're part of it. It's not like a gigantic, just business-oriented convention.
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and that's in the DC area, correct?
Yes, it's in DC.
Excellent. So we're talking about PAX. We're talking about MagFest. Let's talk about the Boston Symphony Hall. First of all, is this the first time that the Video Game Orchestra will be playing at the BSH?
No, actually, we did it last year once, and also this past March, we did play there with the Distant Worlds Final Fantasy concert. So, but this time it's our own concert. It's not like Final Fantasy or like other stuff. So yeah, we're pretty excited about this.
Excellent. And what kind of music are you going to be bringing to the Boston Symphony Hall this time around?
So we have the guests: Yoko Shimomura, Noriyuki Wadare, Hitoshi Sakimoto, and Kinuyo Mashida. So we're featuring their music. For Hitoshi Sakimoto, we're playing music from Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy 12. For Yoko Shimomura, we're playing Street Fighter 2 and Kingdom Hearts.
Excellent.
Of course, we have to. Kinuyo Mashida is the original composer of Castlevania, and so you know what to expect.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Excellent.
And Noriyuki Wadare is the composer of Grandia Phoenix Wright, and we are playing Grandia. And this was arranged by him, and he personally made a special arrangement of Grandia Medley just for this concert, and I don't think Grandia music has ever been played here. So this is like the world premiere of it. And
not only just a world premiere, but a special arrangement by the composer for the Video Game Orchestra.
Yep, and
that
he'll
is
be
very
there.
Cool.
And other than those pieces, I will be playing our fans' favorites and stuff like Final Fantasies, Snake Eater,
right? And
what else? There are a lot of it.
Yeah. When I saw you guys perform, the Sega themes, the Sonic themes, and also obviously the Nintendo Mario themes were really huge hits. Is there anything you're going to be pulling out of your back pocket that we haven't heard in a while?
Yeah, Bombing Mission will definitely do.
Nice.
And I edited the arrangement a little bit so that it's kind of it sounds pretty fresh and and we'll play God of War.
Excellent.
That we haven't played for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was about 2 years when Gerard came to Boston.
It's been 3 years.
Has it been 3 years?
Yeah.
Wow, time flies, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely be looking forward to that because I'm a huge God of War fan. And it was really interesting to me because I had the opportunity to interview Gerard after that concert, and he was telling me about some of the musical, theatrical work he's done for movies and whatnot. And he's a lot more than just video games. He's done a lot of really interesting work.
And he used to be like a metal shred keyboard player too. And he came to PAX Seattle, and he saw our show. And I was there hanging out with him, drinking until like 3 a.m. every day.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, he's a heavy drinker.
Excellent. I was very impressed. He did the music compositions for Midnight Meat Train. Have you seen that movie?
I haven't seen that yet.
But he was telling me that all the music was actually based on a dead Incan language. So basically he worked with a linguist, and Gerard, if I'm getting this wrong, please do correct me, but from my understanding, he worked with a linguist to basically take these words that hadn't been spoken in hundreds of years and have somebody speak them and then incorporate that in choral chants within the music, and it works. If you see the movie, it's a horror movie, kind of, I won't give it away, but there's a little blood and guts there as well. Vinnie Jones, the British football soccer player, is in it, but the music really makes the movie
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, I like horror movies, so that's something I have to check.
Excellent. Well, Halloween is coming up, so do you have big plans for Halloween after the concert?
Sleep. Well, maybe we'll do something. Yeah, I should have probably planned the concert for Halloween. That would be awesome. Maybe next year we'll think about that so that all the people can come with a video game cosplay and stuff.
That's a great idea. So you heard it here first, folks. Next year, 2013, Video Game Orchestra Halloween concert, cosplay, the whole deal. Hopefully they can make that happen because I think that would be awesome. That'd be like a little sub-convention right there wherever you decide to play.
Absolutely. Yeah,
excellent. Awesome. So what's in store for the Video Game Orchestra in 2013 that you can talk to us about?
Of course, the MagFest. It's happening in January. And we've been in touch with some other conventions, and they are seeking a way to bring us over. So there's not much I can speak about that yet, but yes, we definitely have plans for shows outside of Boston.
So is there anything else you want to let our viewers and listeners know about before we cut away?
Oh yeah, yeah. For the concert, we have a pretty big discount for students. Students get 50% discount. If you're middle school, high school, college, doesn't really matter. Just present your student ID at the box office, and you should be able to get the discount. And that's valid until the day of the show. And also, we launched the Kickstarter campaign to record the show, and we are about 60% funded. So if that happens, we'll be able to bring you guys the best, incredible live video game music album to you.
Excellent. So folks out there, definitely go over to Kickstarter. Just do a search for VGO. Help them support this effort, because they're going to basically produce an album for you guys so that you guys can listen to the show even if you can't make it. And I'm sure that everybody out there in Too Old to Play and all of our friends across all the other video game communities want to see that happen. So we'll do everything we can to make it so.
Yeah, we'd love to see that happen too. And it's been a while since we did the first album, and but our original plan was to do a studio recording, but then I was like, you know what, we really shine at the concerts.
Definitely.
You know, so I wanted to capture that feel and bring it to everyone in the world, and we've been getting a lot of emails from people saying that, come on, you guys have to release something, and I want to go to a concert, but I'm here, so I can't go. And that was really the only way to, you know, respond to that. This is something I really would like to do. I don't really care so much about the profit itself. I want to do it for the love of video game music, and just, you know, stimulate the industry and make video game music as like the, I don't know, popularize it a little bit more, and to the mainstream people. So to be clear, a Video Game Orchestra concert is not a stuffy, you know, your grandmother's symphony hall concert. I mean, I've been to a couple of these. There's interaction back and forth with the crowd. You guys do an amazing job of getting the crowd pumped up for each and every number. How do you view that interaction when you're up on stage and you're talking to the crowd? How do you kind of work a repertoire like that? Well, first of all, I'm not really a classical musician, I guess. I started music from classical piano lessons, but then I shifted to electric guitar. I went through this 70s, 80s rock phenomena thing. Although I'm not that old. I was gonna say, you don't look that old, Shota. But you know, I dig into like those albums, and I listen to them every day for like hours and hours and hours. So this rock concert thing is just my thing. It's more energetic, more passion, and it feels more raw and live. And I want to incorporate that to an orchestral concert. So our concert is not like a typical classical concert. It's a rock show, so you can scream, you can, you know, yell, and you can just, you know, raise your fist and just go nuts. And I mean, that's a concert to enjoy, not to just sit back and listen to it and, you know, I don't know, be quiet. Right. So it's definitely highly interactive. Yes. Excellent. So let's just take a little sideways real quick. What are your musical influences? You mentioned you went through the 70s, 80s rock. Just, if you can, name a few of your primary influences musically. Okay. Well, for classical stuff, definitely Beethoven was my guy, and Stravinsky. I like those guys. They're probably the best for me, at least. And for rock stuff, Deep Purple is my god. Nice. And of course Zeppelin, Ozzy, Van Halen, and Yngwie Malmsteen, and all those guys, all those great rock legends. Is there anybody who's out there contemporary today that you listen to that you're like, wow, I really like that? I like a lot of recent music, especially from the production standpoint. When I listen to it very carefully, there's a lot going on, and, you know, arrangements, string arrangements, and, you know, what they do to make it sound so elaborate and journey. And but I like the album that they produced in '96, Trial by Fire. Yep. That's like the best album for sure in the history of rock. That's just arrangements, top-notch arrangements, and playing wise, and Steve Perry, like everything was so gorgeous.
Excellent. You may get some argument from a few people about the best rock album ever, but I'm a huge Journey fan, and I want to say
the best,
yeah.
You know,
and I'm a huge old school Journey fan. So like the Greg Raleigh years, before nothing wrong with Jonathan Cain, but before Jonathan Cain from the Babies came on board, you know, when Greg was singing with him, and they had a little bit more of a jazzy, bluesy feel to them than what a lot of people know Journey has from the late '80s.
Well, Steve Perry is pretty much. I shouldn't say like he is the Journey,
right.
But he was definitely a big part of Journey, and I miss him.
Definitely, definitely. So once again, we're looking at Sunday, October 7th, almost said November 7th. There's Sunday, October 7th at the Boston Symphony Hall.
Yep.
Tickets are still available.
Yes.
And if you're a student, you can get a discount. And then also definitely go to the Kickstarter page for the Video Game Orchestra. Help them get the funding so that they can record that show and produce a CD for that. And yeah, thank you so much, Shota, for taking a little bit of time out of your busy Friday afternoon here in this beautiful setting, by the way. What do you think of this room, the prayer room at the House of Blues?
This is a little delight. I never knew that this existed, really. So.
Yeah, so I wanted to give a big thank you out to Aaron and all the folks at the House of Blues. They have been more than gracious giving us a space, this gorgeous, gorgeous space to do the interview in, and making sure we had everything we need. So big shout out to the House of Blues Boston. You can follow them on Twitter at HOB Boston. That's at House of Blues Boston with just the letters HOB. And while we're talking about Twitter, Shota, what is the Video Game Orchestra Twitter account?
It's the VGO.
The VGO?
Yeah, we're pretty active on that, and also Facebook. I'm kind of ashamed of myself. We are more active on Facebook and Twitter than the official site.
Right.
So we should, we should do something media, about that.
Yeah. That's social media for you these days, though. It's so quick and active.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you so much for coming out. We look forward to the concert and forward to seeing you guys at MagFest, PAX East, PAX West, hopefully PAX Australia. And then we're excited to see what comes in 2013 and 2014 for you guys as well.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Shota. And once again, this is Dane Tullock, a.k.a. Waterborn from 2old2play.com, and this is part of the Pop Culture series from 2old2play.